There is no substitute for doing the work. So, this video is actually, I have in my mind that the title and the thumbnail are going to be that you should stop watching self-improvement videos. And so that's just what I want to talk about right now is stop watching self-improvement videos. Now, quick disclaimer, obviously my channel is about, like, I'm making self-improvement videos. I'm not trying to just kill my channel right now, and I'm also not actually saying that you should stop making self-improvement video or stop watching self-improvement videos. But I do think that, and I'm guilty of this as well, I do this too, so disclaimer as well, I do this, so this is once again kind of my own advice for myself, but I really do think there's a lot of people who do this. It's like we get so caught up in watching the self-improvement videos, and we get that like dopamine spike of feeling productive just because we've watched a self-improvement video. And it's like, realistically, did that help you really? Like, did you actually do any of the things that were talked about in that video? Have you actually put any of it into practice? Have you increased your discipline? Have you worked out? Have you gone for a run? Have you, like anything really? Have you read a book? Like any of these things. Like, yes, watching self-improvement videos can be a great source of motivation, information, and connection. I mean, it can be a great way, like if you just really enjoy the personality of one of these self-improvement people, or like not even necessarily because they're self-improvement, but just like we forge connections with people online. Like when we have a favorite YouTuber, we just like watching them, we enjoy watching their content, and we feel something of a connection there. So there's definitely 100% like many positive reasons to watch self-improvement videos, right? And if you're, like if you're in a situation where it's like, okay, first thing in the morning, I watch a self-improvement video to get some motivation, get me hyped up for the day, that's great. If you're in a situation where you just are thinking to yourself like, man, I just don't know where to go from here, then you can watch a self-improvement video on that topic to learn where to go from there. That's, again, 100% a great reason to watch a self-improvement video. But this is for the situation where let's say you've been sitting around for most of the day. It's like 3 p.m. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You've been on your phone for most of the day. You've just been scrolling, consuming a bunch of random content, right? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be self-improvement content. You know that there's some things that you have to do today, and then a self-improvement video comes up on your feed. And you go, okay, let me watch that real quick before I go do this thing. And you watch the self-improvement video, and you feel great about yourself because, like, yeah, man, I'm consuming self-improvement content. I'm improving myself. I'm learning all this stuff about self-improvement. And then you just go right back to consuming other content. And now it's 9 o'clock, and you're like, oh, well, I'm too tired. Now I got to go, shower and get ready for bed. Or I got to play video games or something, and you didn't end up actually doing real work, right? So that's what I mean when I say stop watching self-improvement videos, put the self-improvement into practice, right? You can do both, 100%. I think I do both. I try to. Sometimes, like, I'll be real with you. Some days, just a couple of days ago, I did this. I spent a good portion of the day just consuming self-improvement content, and I didn't really do anything that day. Like I did some stuff later in the day, but my first half of the day, which is typically the more productive half for me, like I'm usually more, well, it depends. It depends day to day, but usually the earlier portion of the day is the more productive portion for me. And I spent it just sitting on my phone watching long form videos, right, about self-improvement. And like, yeah, was it valuable content? Sure. Do I necessarily regret having watched the videos? No. But I didn't actually do anything with that on that day. Now, again, there's also the caveat that, because maybe I'm putting that into practice today, right? I watched the videos a couple of days ago, and now I'm using the information that I just learned today. But so, again, that's also a good thing, right? So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to watch self-improvement videos. I think it's exactly the opposite. If I thought it was bad to watch self-improvement videos, I wouldn't be making them, right? But I do think that, and I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself here, but I just kind of want to stress that it's just like don't and it's hard as well because we get this dopamine spike just automatically when we consume self-improvement content. We get this like spike of motivation, and we get this spike of like gratification, and we feel like we're doing something valuable and productive even though we're still only just consuming content. And you could make a similar argument, honestly, about reading books too. Like, technically, reading a book is still consumption. It's not productive technically, right? Although obviously reading a book, there have been studies apparently that show that neurologically reading books is valuable. It produces like some benefit more so than maybe watching videos. Maybe, I'm not actually sure if anyone's done a study comparing those two things or not. Actually, I'd be curious to see if there was if there were any studies on that. But like, so again, like, there is a place for consumption of content, especially if it's valuable content, right? Like, because if you're, in that example, even like, if you're going to consume content anyway, should you pick video game videos or self-improvement videos? I would argue you should pick the self-improvement videos, right? You should watch videos that are more productive in the sense that at least you're learning something valuable as opposed to just consuming content that's entertainment based. Even though entertainment, again, definitely has its place, right? Like biblically, God creates the world for 6 days and rests on the seventh. So I'm not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong with just taking a break, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's pretty much every context. There's pretty much nobody except literal workaholics that say that there isn't a place for rest. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't consume entertainment content sometimes. But, obviously, especially like nowadays, we're in an era where it's so easy to just consume content constantly. I mean, you have your phone on you pretty much all the time. I mean, you ask anybody, if you take away somebody's phone, you say, can you get through a regular day without your phone? Most people can say, yeah, they can get through it. But I mean, you have your phone, you have all your contacts on your phone, so you can't speak to anybody. You use it for Google whenever you're curious about something. And then of course you use it for scrolling, YouTube, Instagram. I mean, there's a blue million of these social media platforms. So consumption of content is so easy now. It's so easy to consume content, and it's getting so much harder to pull yourself out of it, because it's not even a secret. These social media companies, I think, unless I'm mistaken, I've seen like article headlines saying that they're doing this. I don't know if they've admitted to it or if we're just kind of realizing that that's what they're doing. But these companies, I mean, it's no secret that these social media companies are literally engineering their platform to make it as addictive as possible, right? So we're in an age where entertainment is the easiest to access that it has ever been, and it's getting even harder and harder to pull yourself out of the entertainment hole and actually do something productive. So that's why I'm making this video, is like, use this video as like as motivation to stop watching YouTube for the day or something like that, right? Because does self-improvement content have a place? Absolutely. Is it some of the most valuable form of content? I would think so. I personally think so. Is there also a place for entertainment? 100%, right? But I think that most of us spend a lot of our day just watching mindless, meaningless content. And we really need to start shifting our focus to something more productive, right? Again, like, okay, you had a long, hard day at work. You want to just sit and watch YouTube for a little bit before you go to bed. Great, that's fine. Especially like if you're happy with your job and you're having a grand old time, don't worry about it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But just speaking from personal experience, I have way more ambition than to just work a regular 9 to 5 job making 70 grand a year. Like I have way more, I have way larger aspirations than that, right? I'm not trying to just do that. So for me and for people like me, this is a video for people who are like me, in the sense that, like, if you feel like you have more important things to be doing than consuming content, then you need to apply that to all content, right? Because self-improvement content, as valuable of like as much more valuable consumption as it is, it's still consumption of content. You're still not really producing anything, right? Now, again, you can learn valuable things from the content and you can apply those things, but I guess I'll warn you from, don't fall into the trap of thinking that it's a productive day if you spent like 3 hours just watching self-improvement videos, right? Like, watch a self-improvement video and then do the thing that the video is talking about, right? Watch the video and then apply it to your life. That's a good progression to have. That's a good way to do it, because if you're not applying the stuff that you learn, then it serves no purpose, right? So that's kind of the lesson. I know I'm kind of, I feel like the last couple of videos I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with talking on the camera, and so I might be a little bit higher energy, but it's definitely not super structured. So I'm probably going to start working on like scripting these videos a little bit, because obviously I come into it with an idea of what I want the video to be about, but I'm definitely just freestyling this. So sometimes the ideas are going to come out a little bit jumbled, but yeah, so that's basically the point I'm trying to make, is like, don't fall into the trap that you've been productive when all you did today was just watch self-improvement videos, right? And again, I am guilty of this too. I've done this more times than I can count. I mean, shoot, like literally, I mean, you can just look at my channel. I posted like one video like a year and a half ago, and then I like waited months and months. Like, I've really only started consistently posting. It was like 3 months ago I started consistently posting for about a month, and then I stopped, and then I started up again pretty much exactly 3 weeks ago. It's been like 3 weeks and a day, I think, since I started posting like really consistently. And I've been watching self-improvement content for years, right? And that's not to say that this is the first self-improvement thing that I've ever done, right? Like, I've worked out for years. I've actually started going on runs fairly consistently since about summer of last year, I want to say. Or maybe not quite. It was more like fall of last year. But, so it's not to say that like, oh, doing YouTube is the first self-improvement thing that I've ever done, right? Like, that's certainly not true. I like to think that I've been on self-improvement as a journey for, years and years. I mean, I made a video about it, and, in high school, I had a progression of trying to become more confident. So I've always kind of had a hunger inside of me to improve myself in every capacity, right? But I have known for a while that I wanted to become like financially free and not have to just work a regular job. And YouTube is obviously like a vehicle for that. But I hadn't really done anything with it for a long time. And I'd watched videos even for a while about how to start a YouTube channel. So I fell into this trap personally. Like, this was what happened to me. And so I just wanted to make this video to share, like, don't let this be you, right? Don't just consume a ton of content and don't do anything with it, right? Like, watch a self-improvement video, like, because I know, I mean, me personally, I sometimes still, like, I've been making videos about discipline and about motivation, and I'm really trying to learn how to become as disciplined as physically possible. Like, that is a goal of mine, to become just ironclad disciplined, right? And to learn how to self-motivate and all these things. And it's working. And so but I also understand, like, motivation, sometimes you just need a shot in the arm, right? Sometimes you just need a shot of that motivation. And so what I will do is I will pull up a self-improvement video. I will watch a video from one of my favorite self-improvement creators. and I'll use that as motivation to go do something more productive for myself, right? But that's the step that you can't skip. You have to watch the self-improvement video and then take what that video is about. You know, either apply the lessons that you just learned in the video, or just use the general motivation of having watched an improvement video to then propel yourself to do other things, right? So I know that felt like it was a little bit long-winded and rambling, but that's pretty much all I got for today. Just make sure that you're applying the lessons that you learn, and don't fall into the trap of being a lifelong learner and not a doer, right? You want to be a lifelong learner. You always want to push yourself to learn as much as possible, but you want to actually put those lessons into practice so they develop into skills. So that's it for today. If you made it all the way to the end, as always, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace out.